Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time of watching my video, this is Reggie School of Fashion. In my previous video, I showed you guys a step-by-step method of making a polo placket on a native shirt or senator wear. If you are yet to see that video, kindly check the description area below for the link to the video. So guys, in today's video, I will be showing you how to cut and construct a patch pocket with flap, which can be attached to a native shirt, senator wears, kaftan, and corporate shirts. In this tutorial, you will be learning the measurements required in cutting a patch pocket, how to assemble the pieces, and also how to attach the pocket to the front bodies. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't, so that you won't miss out any of my valuable content. Because on this channel, I upload fashion designing content regularly for both male and female, using pattern drafting, which is the world standard method in clothing construction. With that being said, let's get started. In constructing a patch pocket with flap, these are the three pieces I will be using. I have the pocket bag, I have the flap itself, and I have the extension. For the pocket bag, the measurement I used is 8.5 by 7.5. The width is 7.5 inches and the length is 8.5 inches. Okay. Then for the flap, I have 7 inches by 7 inches. 7 inches for the width and 7 inches for the length. Then for the extension, which will go around the pocket, I use the measurement I have for the pocket. I measured the length of the pocket, the measurement by this side and by this side, that is 8.5 plus 8.5. Then the measurement I have at the lower part, 7.5. Then I added the three measurements together plus extra 2 inches, which will overlap. So that is 4 inches. So in total here, I have about 33 inches for the extension. So just make sure you cut as much as you can so that you will not have a shortage. So I have about 33 inches. So these are the measurements I put together to achieve this, and I added like extra 5 to 6 inches to the measurement. And also when I was cutting out this, I cut it on a bias. You can see how it is stretching, so the fabric is stretching. So when I get to the construction point, when I'm turning this around, it will be easier for me to turn, so it will not be squeezing. So that is why you have to cut this on bias. In case you don't know how to cut on bias, just let me know at the comment section. I have a solution for you. Okay, so now I have my three pieces ready. This is the pocket bag. I fused this with a soft fusible interfacing, popularly known as T. Okay, and I also fused the pocket flap as well. I fused it also with a fusible interfacing. So now the next step is to construct the pocket itself. And the first thing I'll be doing is to apply pleats at the center of the pocket. The pleat allowance has been added together with the measurement I cut out. Okay, so I will be measuring 4 inches. You can see my fabric is on fold. Here is the center. Then from this center, I will measure 1 inch forward. And I'm marking this on the right side of my fabric. Okay, so the next step is to stitch on the 1 inch line. I'll be stitching from the beginning of the pocket bag to the end of the pocket bag. So I'll be doing this off the camera and I'll be back to show you the results. So now I've stitched this at the center on the 1 inch point. I measure downward. You can see what I have after stitching. So the next step is to open this up like so. Okay, I will open it up, then open up the pleat as well. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm opening up the pleat. So after opening it up like so, then I will give it a good press in order to make it lay flat. So can you see what I have? So after ironing or after pressing, I'll have something like this. It will lay flat like so. Then, so this is what I will be having after pressing. So after giving it a good press, I will be having something like this. So guys, I've ironed out the pleat, and this is what I have on the right side. This is what I have on the wrong side. You can see this is looking neat and is looking flat. So the next step is to create the pocket opening. We have the same measurements on both edges of the fabric, so you can choose any side to be your pocket opening, either this side or this side. Okay, so for the pocket opening, I added extra 2 inches. Initially, my pocket height is meant to be 6 inches, and you can see I have about 8.5 inches here. So from that 8.5 inches, I'll be taking 2 inches for the pocket opening, and I will be using half of an inch to finish the lower part of the pocket. So now I have 2 inches here, and I'll pin it like so. At the centers, I will confirm the measurement I have over there. I will confirm the measurement I have here. Now I have my 2 inches folded at the edges of the pocket bag. So I folded the 2 inches to the wrong side of the pocket bag. This is the wrong side, and this is how the right side looks like now. So the next step is to finish these edges. After folding in 2 inches, then I will be folding half of an inch inward on the edges. So you can see I have my half of an inch marked out, then I'll fold it inward like so. So this time around, I don't want to run stitches on my pocket opening, so I will be holding this down with an hemming tape. So this is an hemming tape. So I'll place it on the edges like so. Inside, this is going inward. And I will melt this gum with heat. So which means I will be applying it with ironing. Okay. So by the time I apply it to this, it will dissolve and it will glue these edges down. It will not open as you are seeing it. So this is what I'll be doing now, and I'll be back to show you the results. Now the next step is to attach the strap around the pocket. Okay, so here is the strap I cut out, and as I said earlier, I cut this on bias. You can see it's stretching because this will be moving all around the pocket. It has to be stretching a little. So I'll be positioning this right side facing the right side. So here is the wrong side of the strap, which is the chalked part. Okay. And I also joined this at the center because I want to have enough fabric for this particular strap. I don't want to have a shortage. So if you have enough fabric, you can cut this out on a stretch. So it is not necessary for you to join this at the center. So I'll be placing this right side facing the right side. Can you see what I have? Here is the right side of the strap, and here is the right side of the pocket. The right side of the strap lying on the right side of the pocket, and you can see the remaining part of the strap is facing towards this side, not like this, but like this. Okay, and I will have about 1 inch upward, like so. So this 1 inch will be folded to the wrong side of the pocket opening, like so. So if you cannot get the exact 1 inch, you can mark this out. So you can see I have 1 inch extra folded inward to the right side of the wrong side of the pocket, and I'll pin this like so, and I'll be having something like this on the right side. Okay, excuse me. So I will continue pinning this all around. Okay, then I will turn my fabric, that is the strap of fabric, like so. I'll be turning it like so. Okay, then I'll pin the lower part as well. You can see what I'm having on the right side. So you can see I'm at the other edge of the pocket. Then I will turn this as well. You can see what I'm having. Okay, so this is what I have. Then when I get to the upper part, I will fold in about 1 inch as well to the wrong side. So I'll just fold this inward. Like so, and I'll be having something like this. So the remaining excess I have will be trimmed off after stitching all around, because I don't want to have a shortage. So after stitching, and I'm very sure I'm not in need of this anymore, then I will trim it off. So the wideness I have for this is 2.5 inches. You can use between 2 inches and 2.5 inches. So now I will be stitching this all around from the edge with half of an inch seam allowance. All my seam allowances has been added together with the measurement I used in cutting this out. By the time I finish constructing this pocket, I will end up having 4.5 inches for the width of the pocket, and I will have 6 inches for the length of the pocket. It's okay. So the next step is to stitch this all around, as I said earlier. So I'll be stitching like so from here. So when I get to this point, I will turn. Then I will take this like so. This is the bottom side of the pocket. When I get to this side also, I will turn and I will stitch and stop here. So please do not stitch on the pocket opening. I'm not stitching on the pocket opening. I'm stitching towards this side. That is the side I have my pins. Here, here, and here. So guys, this is what I have after stitching all around. You can see I have the pocket inside and I have the extension covering it up. And when I got to this point, I trimmed off the excess I have for the strap. Here is the excess, so I trimmed it off and I have something like this. So this is the right side of the pocket and this is the wrong side of the pocket. So the next step is to work on the bottom side of the pocket. Okay, so this is what I have at the lower part of the pocket after stitching. So what I'll be doing now is just pay a closer attention to this. I will just fold this like so, then let it face the center of the pocket. So what I'll be doing now is to press this down flat like so. So I'll make sure this edges is properly pressed flat. Okay, so I'll be doing this and I'll be back to tell you the next step. So guys, this is what I have after pressing this down. You can see the edges, the shape has come out. So the next step is to open this up like so. So this is the part I press down. I will open it up, then I will stitch. Okay, I will stitch on this line. That is the folded line. This is the way I folded. Then I'll open it up. I have a line here. I will be holding the two pieces together like so, and I will stitch on this line. Then I will repeat the same process on the other side. So I'll be doing this and be back to show you the results. So guys, I've stitched the edges. As you can see, this is the bottom side of the pocket. I have my stitch here and on the other side as well. So the next step is to trim off this excess. So I'll be trimming it off like so. Okay, then I will open up the remaining seam allowance I have over there. I will open it up like so, then I will give it a press because it has to lay flat like so. Okay, so I will open it up, then give it a press. Now I've opened up the seam allowance and I gave it a good press, as you can see. Okay, so the next step is to notch these points, these 2 points, which is the lower part of the pocket. I'll be placing notches. Okay, then on the other side I will notch. So after notching, then I'll be turning this inside out. Don't forget, this is the right side of the pocket and we cannot leave it like this. So I will have to turn it. I will trim this down. I will trim it off. Most especially this point. Okay, so then I will push this inward. Okay, so this is what I have after turning the pocket, and this is the right side, this is the wrong side. So the next step is to close this side. You can see what I have here is opened. So these 2 pieces, I'll be closing the 2 pieces together with an hemi tape. So I'll put a piece of hemi tape inside here. I'll give it a press and glue it, and also on the other side. So I'll glue this together, and also I will give the pocket as a whole a good press, and I'll be back to show you the results. So guys, I've applied it on the hemming tape I inserted inside this fabric. You can see the fabrics as glued together, and I also gave the pocket as a whole a very good press. That is why it's standing like this. So this is settled, the pocket is ready. Every construction concerning this pocket is ready. So the last step is to attach the pocket to the bodice. In attaching the pocket to the bodice, you will have to fold in your seam allowance inside like so. this is the extension I attached to the pocket. So this is the way I folded this, like so, backward and forward again. So I have something like this. So after folding, and I gave it a good press all around the shape of the pocket. So this is the part I will be attaching to the bodice. So but before attaching this, we will have to construct the flap. So here is the piece I cut out for the flap. Okay, the width of the flap must be the same as the width of the pocket. I intentionally cut this out because this has to be done after constructing the pocket. The final width I have for the pocket is what I will be using in constructing the flap. Okay, so what I'll be doing is just to fold this into two. This is the flap. I'll fold it into two, then place the center on the center of the pocket, and I will mark where it stops. Okay, which is here. Then on the other side is here. So I have the points marked like so. So you can see what I have. So this is for the pocket, for the flap. I'll put this aside and construct the flap. All I need to do is to take the measurement of the marked point, which I have 4.5 inches, as you can see. So I'll be turning this to the wrong side. So I'm folding into two. So this is right side facing the right side. So now I will be transferring the measurement I have on the right side of the flap to the wrong side of the flap, which is 4.5 inches. So I will divide 4.5 inches into two and apply it on both sides. Half of 4.5 inches is 2.25. In case you don't know how to read your measuring tape, or you don't know how to locate the values on your measuring tape, I have a well-detailed tutorial on how to read a measuring tape for pattern drafting. In this tutorial, you will get to understand what the small lines you have on your measuring tape stands for. How do you convert your fraction values to decimal and decimal values to fraction? After dividing your circumference measurements by 4, how do you locate them on your measuring tape? All these are well explained in this tutorial. The video has been linked up in the description area. Okay, make sure you watch the video after watching this current one. So now I'm marking out my 2.25 on both sides, which I will have 4.5 inches in total. Okay, then on the lower part as well, I will insert the measurement 2.25 on both sides. And I will connect the point together. Okay, so the next step is to stitch on this line downward on both sides. I will stitch on this line, I will stitch on this line. So after stitching, I will turn this to the right side and give it a good press. So let's assume I've stitched. Okay, so after stitching, I will just turn it to the right side. I will trim off the excess I have inside. I will trim it off and leave like half of an inch. Okay, then I will turn it to the right side. So after turning, I will give it a good press and I'll be back to show you the results. So guys, I've constructed the flap and this is what I have. So the last step is to attach the pocket and the flap on the bodice. Okay, so in attaching the pocket, I'll be taking the measurements from the HPS. HPS is the highest point shoulder. So that is the shoulder point that falls on the neck width, which is here. So I'll be taking 8.5 inches downward, so which is here. Then the pocket has to be away from the placket point. You can see I have the placket. Make sure you fix your placket before attaching the pocket. So I'll be moving the pocket away from the placket with 1.5 inches. Okay, so that is the point. Then I'll be placing my pocket opening on this point. So this is the part I hired inward on the wrong side of the pocket. So this will lay on this. Can you see what I have? So I'll be pinning this so that you guys can see it clearly and have an idea of what I'm trying to do. Okay, so on the other side as well, I will pin it down. This edge, so I'll be applying an S stitch. So when I get to the lower part, I will open it up like so, then apply an S stitch all around. The other side, I will apply an S stitch and I will stop at this point. So I will start stitching from this point all around and I will stop at this point. So I'll be doing this off the camera and I'll be back to tell you the next step. So now the last step is to attach the flap. So I'll be placing the flap like so. Make sure you differentiate between the wrong and the right side of your fabric. Okay, so the right side will be facing the right side. So this side will be the wrong side and this side is the right side, like so. And I will measure 1/2 inch upward from the pocket opening point. So the flap will align with the 1/2 inch point like so, and I'll also make sure the edges align as well. You can see what I'm having. Then I will secure this with my sewing pins. So guys, this is what I have after pinning the flap, and I'll be stitching on 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I will be taking 1/2 inch measurement upward from the edges of the flap like so, and I will be stitching on 1/2 inch from edge to edge. So after stitching, then I will cover up the pocket like so. You can see what I'm having is looking beautiful. I will give it a good press and I will top stitch on this edge, which is the finishing of the pocket. So guys, this is the final look of our beautiful and elegant patch pocket. Here is the side of the pocket. This is the opening of the pocket and this is the flap. There will be a buttonhole on the flap and a button on the pocket. So this will hold the pocket and the flap together. So guys, thank you for watching this video to the end. Make sure you try yours and share your experience with me at the comment section. And also feel free to drop all your questions as I will be here to attend to them all. Thank you once again and see you in my next video. But till then, always do remember, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.